Welcome to the Think Small podcast, hypergrowth for small businesses. So, what's slowing you down?
Well, hi again, everybody. This is Rob Godlewski with the Think Small podcast. And today, my special guest is Myrto Koimtzoglou. Myrto is the Chief Operating Officer of Farmers Insurance Federal Credit Union, based out on the West Coast in Los Angeles. Myrto, thank you so much for joining us today on the Think Small podcast.
Hello, hello. So good to be here. Thank you.
That's great. So I'm interested in the beginnings of your business, the Farmers Insurance Federal Credit Union. It sounds like it used to be part of the Farmers Insurance Group. Is that
Mhm.
correct?
We still
And it,
are.
oh, okay, okay.
Yeah, we still are. 100
Thanks for that
years of
clarification.
tradition. Yes,
Wow. Well, I
yes.
was unaware that Farmers Insurance had a federal credit union under its umbrella. So,
hmm
Mirto, talk to us about your journey in this line of work and also how you got to the into your leadership position at Farmers Insurance Federal Credit Union.
Oh gosh. Um, I'm an attorney by trade, and have always been in legal and compliance. So my kind of nature is on an advisory level of what's compliant or what's legal, what it's not. Having studied across the pond in Europe and worked there, that's where I started my career. I've always been in
Okay.
banking, in financial services. Then here in the US, I worked for the very big banks. I worked for JP Morgan, I worked for Wells Fargo.
Hmm.
I kind of found myself having this, what we call a corporate fatigue, especially when my second child came, and it was pandemic and Wells Fargo, that was my latest big bag stint, was in a little bit of a turmoil. Things changed for me mentally, if you like, priorities and goals and what mattered. And I became more aware and more conscious of mission. I was
Hmm.
becoming mission driven, and I was becoming a little bit more measurable of impact. I wanted to see where my work matters, and I wanted to be able to contribute and bring overall impact. So life brought me in, life, how it works sometimes is so funny with waves, trains. I've heard so many metaphors of different courses in life or where you change, but it brought me to the credit union space, which was a
Hmm.
180 degrees subject matter for me, expertise. Coming from investment management, institutional asset management, private bank, if you like, or investment banking, coming into landing to retail banking, and particularly in a credit union space, which is a lot community driven,
Hmm.
it was a steep learning curve for me, and huge change of culture. But that's where I found that my personal, I call it boxes, were ticked. I found that what I was looking for, like one of the beautiful songs of U2 says, I found impact, I found cause, I found meaning with everything that we do. And that's what I always say to people. There's no turning back for me now. Within the credit union space, then I also followed a very inspirational leader for me, and she brought me into Farmers Insurance 7 months now ago. I kind of expanded a little bit my role into operations as well, because I do believe that supporting functions such as legal, compliance, advisory, counseling do have a very, they're kind of left hand, right hand with operations, because operations is about creating a very strong base and infrastructure where we can, after from that, formulate solid financial services, products, and what we call impact to our membership.
Of course. So Mirto, tell us about, the mission of your your credit union. And I've spoken to a number of different credit union executives here on this
Mhm.
podcast, and it seems like they always focus on a very specific target customer base. So
Mhm.
tell us about the target customers you're looking for.
Well, overall is for us to become, like our motto says, to become a trusted financial partner. So basically, it's to empower our members to achieve their financial well-being. We want to deliver trusted, accessible, and innovative financial solutions. We want to be a place where that's kind of what I imagine it to be, where it starts because we have a lot of members that have been with us for generations, that it starts from a generation and moves to another because we can tailor solutions to everybody. We can tailor for your college studies, for your first house, for your first business. And you place your trust and your faith in us for your financial, not only well-being, but the whole planning. We have a lot of work done on, on a family level, expanded to a business. We want to advance their financial success. That's why we are very keen now on business banking too. We want to target.
Mm,
We already perform business banking, if you like, but very much niche to farmers insurance audience. But we want to expand it even more to our communities, and we want to attract small businesses that want to have a financial stability and quite modernized, if you like. So to have a good online program and suite of products and ease of banking, whatever they want to do for their staff, for their people, from day-to-day services like cash management or treasury management, but to expanding to another location or getting favorable terms to buy new equipment and so on.
interesting. And clearly the members, rather
Hmm.
than customers or clients, the members of a credit union have they kind of have skin in the game
Hmm.
in the operations and the direction of
Yeah, that's our
of where
cutting
the
edge.
credit union goes.
Mm.
Right,
Hmm.
right. So and so you really you I guess you have to listen to those customers or members, excuse me,
Yeah.
to for their input on maybe where they want, the credit union to go and what services and products you should be offering.
Yeah,
Um,
a hundred
tell us a
percent.
little
Mm-hmm.
tell us a little bit about how involved you are with that voice of customer and maybe some, some new products or new offerings that came as a result of that.
Yeah, I love that you asked that question because I feel very passionate about it. This is the whole premise. This is the whole foundation of a credit union. The closeness and the relationship that we have with our members. We're not just a huge bank that everybody goes into one line and being treated like every other customer of a giant corporation.
Okay.
The edginess that we have in the credit union is the face off that we have to our members through our communities, through our branches, through relationships, long-term relationships, like I said, through business banking everywhere. We recently launched because we place that much onus. We want to hear what our members say. We want to hear what complaints they have, if you like. We want to hear what suggestions they have for improvements. We recently launched very, very manual internal. I call it control because it is controls bring change within an organization, change management. So that's why I call it a control. But we recently launched Voice of the Member. So we have different sorts of platforms. We have social media. We have the branches walk-ins. We have the call center. People call in for services. And it's not just the survey matter. We do have a survey as well, but all of those areas where we have input from our members, even if it's negative, positive, but we have interaction, including surveys, we consolidate them into one channel. We have a first cut, as I call assessment of that, and then that reaches executive level towards our CEO and many times supervisory committee or even board. And we do have trend reporting on that. So most of our members are not feeling very good about X process, or most members would like to see, I don't know, more timely wires, or most members would like to see presence there or anything. So that showcases in real life and documented that, and it's a very, very big standing item on the executive committee's agenda every month to listen to that. We also have our CEO in some cases because we have clips included. She personally reaches out to people saying, I heard you. Let's talk about it. Let's do it like this. Some people in distress, some people are that they're not giving a chance, let's say credit score or anything to get a line of credit for the new business. Our CEO personally, numerous times she went out, she reached out, she said, I want to hear you. So it's of utmost importance of what we do inside the credit union to be a member servicing and member. That doesn't mean that we bend backwards. Of course, we need to be compliant and efficient in our operations. We cannot tailor our services to Rob and Jane and Mary and all of that, but we do place a tremendous amount of onus in hearing our members. The result of that is we change as we go along. When it has to do with change of process, why does it take me 3 days to do this? We change it immediately. Why do I need to sign 5 different forms? We rip them out immediately. Whatever makes sense and leads to efficiency, we do it on the fly. This is also another level of credit union that I really, really like, is that the ability to be nimble, fast, and efficient like that. You don't have to go through 5 committees to change the wires process. You don't have to go through 5 different board approvals, to shorten a form within obviously the legal and compliance.
And it sounds like, Myrto, that you're speaking very specifically about some of your former experience, because you were involved in some very large financial institutions that I'm sure did take forever to get signatures on a form or to change a process. So I think that's wonderful, and having such a focused effort on your member makes a huge difference. And getting personal calls from the CEO on occasion, I'm sure means a lot to your members.
Yes.
So
I find it incredible. I find it incredible for somebody to pick up the phone and deeply, genuinely care about someone's livelihood and financial status. That's what I'm saying when it's coming from the top.
Right. You know what? Every time I work with a client that is struggling to understand what's wrong with their business, my first recommendation is talk to your customer. Talk to your member. They'll be happy to tell you. You know what? Most of the credit unions I have the privilege of speaking with, Myrto, are focused on a very, I'd say, relatively regionally small geographic footprint. But looking at your website, you have branches and operations all over the country. Tell me a little bit about that.
Yeah. This is a result of us being part of Farmers. So most of our locations, except the LA or California locations, are part of the Farmers group. So where we have big presence from Farmers, we created a credit union, a branch over there. So makes sense. In some of those, they are quite busy branches because of the sales focus and obviously the presence, the actual boots on the ground from Farmers. So that drives a lot of, and community, obviously, presence, like places like in Texas and in Kansas City. There's a lot of community involvement because there's a history behind it. They've been there for a while. The Los Angeles locations are more, again, not so much on Farmers, tied to the Farmers presence, but more of legacy, history of servicing those communities over there.
Sure.
We are obviously on the growth path right now, and location and presence is something that it's on executive committee and board's mind of adding and kind of doing a little bit of where do we stand? Maybe we have more engagement over here. Maybe we need to rethink that. And we're opening, I'm very excited because we're opening our first branch in Los Angeles area. We're opening our first branch in 2 weeks in the Burbank area where our admin office is, where one of the admin offices, we have another one in the Los Angeles area, but we're very, very excited about that. This is kind of like the one of the first this executive management's first branch opening, which is not situated close to a farmer's presence. And we feel
Okay.
we're opening up in a campus that is full of other companies. So it's going to be an experiment, a little bit of test for that. And we will have a big celebration for that. We have all local businesses invited. We have politicians coming in, have mayorship and chamber of commerce. So yeah, we're trying to raise awareness that we're here. We're here to serve you. A little bit of testing and experimenting what is life in a different membership audience. Because in other locations,
Interesting.
we are a little bit more rural, more small town, more targeted. This one is a little bit out of the ordinary of what we do. And I think we are extra excited about that.
Well, I wish you all the success in the world for that new branch
Thank you.
opening. That
Hmm.
sounds pretty exciting. So you've been there for a relatively short period of time. Did I hear you say only 7 months?
Yes, correct.
Wow. So rather than asking you about, your history with your organization, because there really isn't a lot of history there, but but what kind of new and innovative thinking are you bringing to the leadership team there at Farmers Insurance Federal Credit Union? There's clearly a reason why they brought you on board.
The credit union right now is in the midst of transformation. So not
Mm,
only I see myself sometimes, I visualize myself like tearing down walls. Not only we're tearing down the status quo in terms of, because there were a lot of stale processes, procedures. That's why the credit union had a little bit of not such a big growth. So the entire executive committee has been revamped to that. So we're trying to transform very, very old and stale legacy, if you like. We're in the midst of launching many different things, new line of business, new products, new services. So we're kind of expanding outside farmers and testing our wings on other areas that we can do. Like I said, we perform business banking to farmers today. Why cannot we do that in a small dentist office or a bakery
mm,
shop or a body shop or anything? Because we do have that infrastructure there. It's just a mindset.
okay.
So we are very much also digitally now transforming. We were very, if you can believe it, we were very manual place internally and externally. Like I said, for you to perform your basic banking operations as a customer, as a member, you had to have those forms. So we're trying to
Mm,
get out of the, the ways of the world because we want to attract younger generations too, that they learn banking on their phone. It's not like my mom, even myself. I like walking into a branch and say, "Hi, Rob, nice to see you. Hi, Myrto, what can I do for you
sure.
today?" So younger generations are completely different mindsets. So we're trying to move into the digital world as well, which is a huge endeavor for us. But more so, I think I'm brought in, and that's the whole notion of the executive management is that to bring a more structured, disciplined approach of how we operate. So, really, my job since I joined is what I call many times popping the hood and going, where does this wire go? Why do we have two wires to do the same thing? Rip it out. Shifting so from fragmented stale practices, so everybody were doing one thing, the person next to them doing the same thing and not talking to each other,
Right.
and all of
So
that
I'm
to the expense of the member, right?
right, right. And so I'm sure you've probably in looking at those wires and asking the question, why does this wire go here? Why are we doing things this way?
Mm.
I'm sure you probably heard a lot of, well, that's the way we've always done it.
No, I've
Okay.
never heard that. What are you talking
Oh,
about?
you haven't. Oh, okay.
I'm
You're
joking.
being a
I'm
little
joking. I'm
facetious. Sure,
joking. Yes,
sure. Um,
that has been a phrase that I heard in all the places that I've been. I'm thinking of
I'm
creating a
sure.
stamp with it to go. I've never heard of this before.
How funny. But that's the way we've always done it. Why would we
Yeah,
want to change? Well,
yeah.
because the members aren't getting a benefit out of this. So let's
Exactly. And
change.
Rob, it has evolved a little bit, at least in my experience, to go, if it's working, why change it?
Ah, yes, yes. It's just
Yeah,
there's a different definition of working
correct,
depending on who you're asking, correct?
correct, correct.
Yeah,
Absolutely
yeah.
correct. Yeah.
So but I think I also heard you say that you're in a period of growth now. Clearly, you're opening a brand new branch in Burbank, California soon. I think that's
Hmm.
exciting. But tell me, rather than physical branch location growth, tell me
Hmm.
about the growth of revenue coming in from your members. Clearly, there's the world is your oyster relative to new products and services. So tell us about that growth going on right
Hmm. We're trying to achieve obviously an organic growth by being competitive with others, other credit unions, and to be honest with you, other banks, especially on the small business banking world,
now. Sure.
by offering a suite of products. We were very limited, to be honest with you, in the products that we offered, and those products to be competitive and meaningful. So if we offer four different credit cards with different features, might as well be good. So if they have rewards, actual rewards that people like, or if we
Mm,
offer CDs to be the ones that are beneficial financially to people, or lending, do we offer all kind of suites of lending? Do we offer indirect, auto, first mortgage, HELOCs, all of those different products that could benefit a household, and then not only a household, a business, a family. Like I said, youth accounts, maybe trust accounts, or my daughter, my kids are going to college. I want to be able to save for that. And by the way, in my business, I have my employees. How can my employees take benefit of that? So holistic relationship management, there wasn't such a thing. And we do feel
mm,
that this is going to be very fruitful for us. This is also something that we are engaged heavily on. And then kind of go back a little bit to farmers and maybe competitive to competitors and say, how can maybe we can offer your benefits through us, your employee benefits, or other areas, or maybe maybe some
oh,
embedded.
interesting.
Hmm. Or maybe some embedded finance. You buy your insurance from farmers or get your insurance. Maybe we can do it through installments through us. So there are some what we call it internally low-hanging fruits that we are
Hmm.
targeting. And right now, with the current infrastructure and our offering, but we constantly are thinking, and we have huge strategic plan that we're in the process of executing right now that includes exactly that product development, service development, and brand new line of business. And then
Yeah.
across the line, when we launch business banking, because we're very niche on that in terms of credit union language, we have affluent members because they are business owners and so on. So we have, compared to other credit unions that service more low income, in the majority, we do service low income too, but we have a lot of people that are more of the heavier side of things. So why not some sort of private banking tailored services?
Oh, sure.
So, like I said, we can bring the credit union space in some areas that we are blessed and privileged to have versus other credit unions that we can dig into more to the benefit of them. So, why
Yeah, not
should
only
you,
other
Rob, that you are our business banking customer with your small business that you have and your family, but you have a 401k that is being managed or something else, why not sit this with us as well? So you have a whole relationship. So these are the
interesting.
areas
So
we're kind of trying to focus.
yeah,
Hmm.
yeah, and being part of a credit union gives you a lot more flexibility than being part of one of these large national or international banks.
Yes.
But also being under the farmer's umbrella probably
Mhm.
gives you a little bit more resources and flexibility to go out and execute that, right? So,
Mhm.
and as we all know, finding new business is always easiest through your existing customers or members.
Yeah. It
And
can
it's always
be
the least expensive way to grow
a
business
hundred
too.
percent. It can be challenging at the same time and very beneficial being part of farmers. It's undisputably it's a great brand name. It's a
Yeah.
brand that lives in every household. So when you go and introduce yourself with farmers, that people go, oh, rather than, John's Credit Union.
Sure.
On the other hand, though, we are trying now, like I said, to shift the mindset to be, yeah, we can leverage the relationship, the brand name, the sales targets, and all of that, but we can and we will move outside of that as well, because we do have the servicing mind and the products and the infrastructure to do it. Like I said, we can service now Rob the dentist. We can service Rob the lawyer or Rob the accountant. It's
Sure.
just, again, having the sales force resources to be able to go, yeah, I get business banking. I get it. I can explain to Rob the privileges of having cash management or treasury management with us. I can advise Rob on his overall merchant analysis of his business, especially if they are a what we call a high street shop. We provide that too. So you can have an analysis through us who to target or all. So we can provide that consult even if it is outside the farmers.
That's great. That's great. So, Myrto, you mentioned a strategic plan that you're right
Mm,
now starting to implement and get moving forward.
mm,
And in my dealings with, longer term strategic plans, it's the beginnings are the toughest. So, tell us about what that next, I'm not sure how long your strategic plan is kind of looking
mm.
forward, but what does that next 3 to 5 years look like for Farmers Insurance Federal Credit Union?
Yeah. We call it 5 by 5 internal
Okay.
model. Yeah, we have a really aggressive growth numbers in mind. We
Growth in
have,
terms of not only assets under management, but does
yeah,
that also pertain to new branches and
yes,
different geographies?
yes, yes,
Okay.
yes. We do, we do. We're going through a reevaluation now, starting from Burbank. Like I said, it's a little bit of a test, our first time coming out. And it is very prescriptive of what we put together, that it's super transparent to everybody in the organization. We're only 200 plus people. So it's only everybody knows what the next milestone is, what we're striving for, what we go. And we'll see where it takes us. So far, so good. It's a bit right now on a speed. I feel like we launched. We're in a very crazy fast car, and we just launched. Let's see if it takes us where we want to go. It's sustainable, or we don't need to backtrack. But so far, so good. It's very much on creating a little bit more penetration of what we do. The low-hanging fruits, as I said. It's about creating more suite of products, bigger suite of products and services
Yeah.
and lines of business to be competitive, because there's no point in having, like I said, one credit card servicing everybody the same. So making sometimes adjustments and improvements on the existing things is what I call a penetration. And then extra services to what we do. Again, for the business banking, do we do a full suite?
Right.
No, let's add that more. So we are
Right.
we are really optimistic, and we're really aggressive and optimistic that can achieve that growth. There's a market out
Okay.
there.
Okay. So what, if anything, would be holding you back, or what's stopping you from achieving those goals?
Yeah, yeah. To be honest with you, it's I take it on me because I'm really personally vested in that. Achieving the operational excellence to do that is behind everything. If we don't have the infrastructure, we just cannot service members. If we don't have the right systems and controls, we cannot become the trusted financial partner. So
Hmm.
building that in a disciplined manner, striving for excellence, is for me the number one threat, if you like.
Okay.
Also, financial circumstances, market. Sometimes, you can have aggressive goals to let's say for loan intake, but if it's really difficult for people now to get lines of credit. So I would say definitely political and financial circumstances, regulatory
Sure.
circumstances.
Well,
I
that's for
think
sure.
I think you never know what's happening. Things change by the minute, but the impact is huge for everyone. It's not just for us, but internally we are competing against ourselves. Is whether we can in unison and as one team have the discipline and aim high as we should to strive all that and build it diligently and thoroughly, the Lego tower to achieve
Yeah,
that.
yeah. So a strong operational foundation is going to
Mhm.
be key for you to achieving the
100%.
organization's goals. That's
Mhm.
great.
That's all where it
So
starts, in my opinion, everywhere, in every organization. That's where it all
yeah.
starts.
So clearly,
Mm.
your firm, your company, your business, you speak to business owners, small business owners every day. So what
Mm.
advice would you have to small business owners, either just starting out or kind of navigating that period of growth that they're going through? What advice can you give our audience relative to that?
Yeah. Um, it will start from us by knowing our member deeply, knowing their business deeply, deeply, what they're trying to achieve, what's their profit, what's their um, cash situation. It's reality, cash
Hmm.
reality, and goals, and what are they expecting from us and where we can come in, and then start building that with us through our different services that we have. Merchant analysis one is key, that we can help identify for them what could be their cash flow and productivity versus others, vicinity or trade or anything. Our cash management and treasury ops that we are going to launch will be also crucial. It will be a very cutting edge tool to help you understand, because sometimes, you're Rob LLC and you're also Rob the CFO. So
Sure.
it's sometimes, to create a balance sheet or to create, to pay off everything, to pay your bills, pay your staff, identify expenses. What do I pay for that? What do I do for that? It's the trickiest part. So providing cutting edge reporting that you can monitor at any moment in time and at your phone is of paramount importance for a business
Hmm.
to be able to know, wait, I'm short on cash right now. I cannot do this. Maybe I do it this month. So you can plan
Right.
your balance sheet, your expenses, your profits and everything. And then the line of credit that we provide, is it thoughtful? Is it tailored from the credit card day to day that we can cap it, we can reward it to your needs, and then the lending that your operation needs for your, I don't know, machines, expansion,
Right.
expenses. It can be something that, this is the beauty of credit union. It can be tailored to the business and to the need.
Okay. Fantastic. Myrto, I can't thank you enough for this discussion. It's been a pleasure getting to know you and getting to know Farmers Insurance Federal Credit Union a little bit
Thank you
better.
very much. I
Um,
really enjoyed it.
uh,
Thank you very much.
Myrto Koimtzoglou, the Chief Operating Officer at Farmers Insurance Federal Credit Union. Myrto, thanks so much for joining us on the Think Small podcast.
Thank you, Rob.
Welcome to the Think Small podcast, hypergrowth for small businesses. So, what's slowing you down?